edition of 1 Minute Answers from 1 Minute Economics, the show in which I answer your economics-related questions in a minute or so each. And before getting started with the two questions about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies that you guys have asked me this week, I want to share some good news and at the same time pick the topic for next week. And the topic for next week is going to be debt optimization, with the good news being that I'm going to be receiving help from Mike from the Common Sense Mike YouTube channel that I am going to link to. And Mike specializes in helping people with their debt. So for example, if you have a question about your credit card debt and how you can bring it down in a sustainable manner, simply ask me a question below and I'm going to do my best to help. And Mike will also be answering each question in a minute or so each. So basically, if you have any questions at all about your debt, about personal debt levels in general, about debt sustainability, and so on and so forth, please ask by writing the comment below, and you will be receiving a 1 minute answer from myself as well as from Mike from Common Sense Mike next week. The first question for today has been asked by Josh, who would like to know what it would take for the mass adoption of Ethereum. And Matt gave him a good technical answer, saying that, there's the security dimension to think about, that there's just not enough mining power compared to, let's say, Bitcoin. And that's all true, but in my opinion, the key to mass adoption lies not in the technical dimension, but in the dimension of usability. What I'm trying to say is that people like Josh, people like Matt, people like myself, we tend to live in a tech bubble and assume that everyone sees the world through our eyes and everyone relates to technology just as easily as we do. But that's not true. I mean, even as someone who works on the internet, it has been pretty hard for me to wrap my head around cryptocurrencies in general. So let's not even think about how hard it would be for your parents or your grandparents to understand the concept and to actually end up using something like Ethereum. So I believe we're going to have mass adoption only when Ethereum or other cryptocurrencies become iPhone level easy to use without compromises on security having to be made. So when mom and pop can easily use Ethereum or Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency for that matter, that's when we will have true mass adoption potential. Until that point, in my opinion, these vehicles are going to be used by people who are tech savvy like we are, for example, but everyone else will probably have to wait. For today's second and final question, Slade would like to know if the introduction of Bitcoins is going to help make the lives of the poor better. Now, this is a very complex question, but I believe I have some interesting insight because as somebody who lives in Eastern Europe, I can remember to this day just how hard it was for anyone from my country to do business on the internet, to pursue online opportunities and so on before receiving access to vehicles such as PayPal, which allow us to transact online. So based on the same thought process, I do have to say that yes, lots and lots of people are going to be able to rise above poverty thanks to the opportunities cryptocurrencies are going to provide. However, to be intellectually honest, we do have to also remember that my example was a fortunate one because I had food, I had water, I had shelter, and even more so, I had a computer with internet access. Whereas a lot of people, including millions upon millions of people from all over Africa, don't even have access to clean water. So to answer your question and draw the line, I would say that yes, a lot of people from the poorer nations of the world will be able to take advantage of lots of opportunities that cryptocurrencies provide, but the people from the very poorest nations worldwide are not going to be able to do that, at least not for the time being. But still, it's truly and utterly amazing how people from all sorts of poor countries are going to be able to get out of poverty thanks to these opportunities, just like I was able to do thanks to the opportunities I had at my disposal back in the day. So this is truly and utterly awesome. That's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in to yet another edition of 1 Minute Answers from 1 Minute Economics. And remember The topic for next week is debt optimization, and Mike from Common Sense Mike will be answering your questions as well. So, if you have a question about your credit card debt, or if you're worried about your debt levels and their sustainability in general, or anything else related to debt optimization, please ask by writing a comment below, and we will do our best to answer your questions next week. As usual, please be active in the community, like my videos, comment, and subscribe to One Minute Economics if you haven't by now. Also, please head on over to oneminuteeconomics.com if you can, and find out how you can support the channel financially as well. Thanks a lot, guys, and have an awesome weekend.